I don't think she has any delusions about that.
She's not picking up what I'm putting down. She's not picking up what I'm putting down.
Indeed.
No.
Oh, well, that's as good as Bob's any. And welcome to Something Random, where sometimes we talk about movies, sometimes we talk about television, but we always talk about something random. I am your host, Michael C. Macbeth.
Hello, this is Joel.
And here with us...
I'm also here.
Yes, indeed.
Hi.
And here with us also today is a very special guest. Why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Very special.
Well, I like that introduction. Very special. My name is Jalyn Courtney Webb. I don't even know where to begin. I do a lot of things. Well, I am an actor and performer and music director and vocal coach, and I like to do a lot of things in music and theater, or musical theater.
Yeah, tell us about your company and what you're doing right now.
Well, I own a performing arts school for kids, actually kids and adults, but in the summertime, we see a lot of children, and right now we are in week 2. Actually, tomorrow we start week 2 of our first of three-week camp sessions. And in those sessions, we have about 50 kids in each session, and we put on a full-length production of the musical Grease.
Nice.
Grease.
So, wow, words. Yeah. So, anyways, does that make it easier? Because I've seen this happen several times where you'll do a junior version of the adult show that's going on. So obviously with set design, that makes it easier. Does it make
so much easier
all parts of the process simpler?
I think it does. One of the things that is kind of 6 of one and half dozen of another with a show like Grease is that, and I at our parent meeting last week, I said this, I'm in my 40s. Later 40s. And I remember seeing this show as a kid, and I don't remember any of the more risque content, and most of my friends who have children don't either, and I'm pretty sure it's because our parents were drinking tab and watching TV and letting us play in the street, so they just didn't even really know what we were doing. For example, myself and another mom that I talked to both thought when Rizzo talked about missing her period, she was missing a part of school.
Right.
Like gym.
I thought that too, yeah. I missed my period.
I don't remember that bit at all.
Yeah. So
that's what she says in the movie. I missed my period.
Oh, so she's thinking I'm pregnant or something.
I think she actually
I thought she just didn't go to science.
Yeah.
Oh my
I can't remember if she said I skipped my period or I missed my period.
She says I missed.
But either way, it sounds like I didn't go to class. And I'm like, oh, she's a bad girl.
Yeah.
And Grease is definitely one of the ones that I romanticize as well. My sisters and I would watch it at my grandparents' house, and we would actually have my grandpa drive us to the gas station and get candy cigarettes, and we would act out stuff in their living room. And,
totally true. So parents are super excited, but also I think horrified when they actually read the script. So we are doing the full production that we do, minus some of the language and adult information, and we have rewritten some of the songs.
Sure.
Which I
Look
think
at me, I'm Sandra D is
Poster Girl of Purity is our version.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I love it. I love it.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, a little better than Lousy with Virginity, because then that's a whole other conversation you have to have with.
Yeah.
So if there's
a virgin.
Yeah. So if there's anyone listening that wants to find this camp and maybe do it next time it opens, how do we find it?
The easiest way is to follow us on Facebook.
Well, first of all, what's it called?
Oh, the Academy at Midtown Arts Center.
Okay.
And our camps are completely sold out for this summer. I have a pretty big waiting list, which is kind of exciting. And we will start our classes in the fall. And our classes, we offer classes in singing, dancing, acting. We have 2 private voice teachers. We have an amazing dance teacher who teaches adult tap. We have an adult voice class. And all of the classes in the fall and the spring, really for the kids, kind of lead up to the production, the major production that we do in the summer. And we also do a middling size production in the spring. We just did 13, the musical, with 26 kids in the spring. But you can find us on Facebook at the Academy at Midtown Arts Center. You can go to the midtownartscenter.com website and click on education, and you'll find us there with bios of all of the teachers and all of the information about
I might
classes.
have to get over there for those tap classes because
I have some upcoming stuff that I probably need to brush up on tap.
Well, let me tell you, we have the best tap teacher around. He is tremendous.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Is it
Michael?
Michael,
Lazarus.
not this Michael.
Different Michael.
I know him.
Michael Lazarus.
We actually need to get him in here. He'd
Yes.
be great
Say
to have
names?
him.
Oh, he
Michael
absolutely-
Lazarus.
Yeah,
Call Michael Lazarus.
We
for tap lessons.
try not to name drop, but it happens all the time. I say your name all the time. I say Seth's name all the time. What people probably don't realize is that Jalyn, Seth, and myself were like, there's like this trinity.
Posse.
Oh, I know what it. We're the three best friends. No, it's just I don't know. So I do name drop at least those two, but
Speaking of name dropping,
Yes.
how crazy is it that we had the same middle name? Jalyn Courtney Webb. I always introduce myself as Michael C. Macbeth, but no one knows that my middle name is actually Courtney.
It is?
I know,
I
right?
didn't even know that, and I've known you for like 87 years.
It is.
I did know a Courtney, a boy that was a Courtney.
Yeah?
He didn't go by Courtney. I think.
I bet.
That was smart of him. Anyway, so that's what I do. I also teach, and interestingly enough, for the first time in a long time, I am in the adult production of the show that I'm also doing with my campers. So Grease is definitely the word
Grease
for me
is the word
all
at the
summer long.
moment. Who are you playing in Greece?
Yeah.
Well, boys and girls, I play Miss Lynch, the English teacher. She's kind of fun. Yeah.
Yes.
I get to play a xylophone. That part's cool.
That is fun.
Yeah.
I really, really loved the photo shoot that you guys did. That
Thank you.
turned out phenomenal.
Guess whose
Yeah.
idea that was? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't see, but she has two thumbs.
she was
right
pointing
now.
to herself.
Well, actually, I have to give even more credit where credit is due. And one of the other cast members showed me a couple pictures, really from another theater. It's kind of a ripoff. But
Well,
we made it our own. It was a great idea. So, Taylor, thank you very much if you listen to this. But I did gather all the information and find a photographer and make it all happen. And then we, in the lobby right before you enter the dinner theater in the POS lobby, there's a whole photo yearbook wall of those pictures in 8x10 frames, which is kind of cool.
That's super clever.
People are
That's
really
cool.
liking that,
Yeah.
and we're able to use it for a lot of marketing. It's a really cool.
And it gives it more of a personalized
Yeah.
marketing strategy because I've had it done with Candlelight where it's just like in a template frame with my headshot, but it works really well, and it's like, hey, this is me and this is the part I'm playing.
Right.
Come see the show.
yeah.
This
as
is
opposed
really
to
fun. It just takes a
ambiguous-
little bit of planning because to try to do it and get that photo shoot taken care of in costume with wigs and costumes
Especially
when
when
you
you're
only
still trying to
rehearse
figure
for
out
2
costumes,
weeks.
yeah.
We're such a fast-paced. We rehearse for 2 weeks and then Tech Week and open, so it's a little crazy. So we did that on the Monday of Tech Week in the morning, and I just told the costumer we just need like tops. We don't need full costumes.
Yeah.
And then we needed a couple wigs, and everybody came in makeup. And it was really fast. Diane, our photographer, who's amazing. Can I say who she is?
You can, although you are sitting amongst a photographer, so.
Well, she's pretty good. You've seen her
No,
work.
I really look up to her work. And I
Diane
mean,
Dierks, she's amazing.
So
Follow
while
her
I
on
drink
the
this
book face.
Gatorade, I'm going to plug Powerade. Just kidding.
Hey, Michael understands that
No,
there
I
are
know.
lots of
Yes,
good
indeed.
photographers
There are
out there.
dozens of photographers in the
you
area.
have to respect each other and work together, especially
But
when I also do video and stuff.
Yeah, she doesn't do any of that. So there you go.
And she is a little bit cuter than you. Just a
She's
little.
really pretty.
Do you want that knife back, or should I twist it around a little bit? No, it's good.
She's a beautiful girl. Anyway, she had never really done anything like that either, so it was fun for her to challenge herself. And
Yeah.
we did it in we did the photo shoot in under an hour.
Nice.
We just had the backdrop set up, and then she did everything, created everything else, put in those colored backdrops and the writing and all of that stuff. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
It's
pretty
totally fun. I saw Grease opening night, and oh my God, it was so fun.
I cannot wait.
Well, can
to
I
see it
tell you a
next
little bit about our director and choreographer? 'Cause
Sure.
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that is a fun.
kind of a cool
let's
story.
talk about that.
So, 12 years ago, at the at the Carousel Dinner Theater, which is now Midtown. We've evolved. But at the time, it was still the old Carousel building. I music directed Grease with some really amazing people. Seth was actually in that. I know you've had him as a guest. He was the teen angel. He and Scott Rathbun shared that part.
Excellent.
And there was this kid who was a UNC student. His name was Josh Busher.
This kid.
And he played Sonny. And I had actually done Fiddler on the Roof with him prior and then music directed Grease. And then he went on to graduate from UNC and within 6 months of going to New York had booked West Side Story on Broadway.
Oh, my gosh.
So he was Diesel for 2 years on Broadway. And then he went into Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and is their dance their choreography associate.
We saw him perform on Good Morning America.
We sure did.
And the Tony Awards.
Yep. And then he did Big Fish on Broadway. And he is he's a choreography associate for the Metropolitan Opera. He's worked with Susan Stroman. And he very kindly came back and directed and choreographed our show here in Fort Collins.
Awesome.
So we have this phenomenal choreography that I get to watch these kids do every night, and it's really unbelievably good.
It is really great choreography. I mean, Grease, I've seen it 20,000 times. I've been in it. It's not really my favorite show, and he made it fun. Well, you made it fun too, Jalyn, but
thanks.
He did make it really fun to watch with all the choreography. The cast is amazing. I mean, Grease, like I said, I've seen it so many times that it's one of those shows where I'm like, oh, Grease. But this cast is super, super fun. They really brighten it up. The choreography, the costumes, the wigs, everything's
We have a great
really
live band, a 5-piece band.
Yeah, the band
live
is
sax.
awesome.
It's really great.
It's exciting when it all comes together and you don't have to watch the show and say, the lighting was really good.
I like the fake mustaches.
You were on that stage.
Yeah, so go check out.
You learned that from me, didn't you?
Go check out Grease.
We picked that up in Les Mis, I think.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say what I say because people will hear it and go, oh. But
No,
I usually
don't say what you say.
No, I usually say, gosh, you look like you're having such a good time up there.
Secrets
See,
out, you guys.
can get in trouble with that because just for what you said, because a long, long time ago, my aunt, who is a photographer, pretty well-known photographer in another state, would when moms would bring in new babies to be photographed, she would say, if the baby wasn't super cute, she would say, oh, your baby is so precious. What a precious baby. Okay. So then, like a year and a half into her saying this, and her office manager knew that she said that when babies weren't very cute.
Yeah.
The office manager had a baby.
Oh, boy.
And brought her in to be photographed. No. And the first thing Beverly said, and it was not an unattractive baby. It was a beautiful baby, but she wasn't even thinking that was her code word. Said, oh, your baby's so precious. And this woman burst into tears and said, you think my baby's ugly?
Oh,
so you have to be careful with that.
Yes, you do. And I mean, I like to change up my phrasing as often as possible just to throw people off.
Or just leave really fast.
Exactly.
Well, it's funnier. I like to hear more of what other theater people say to theater people in shows, but the backhanded compliments from regular patrons are even funnier. Like, I don't know how you memorize all those words. I'm like, that's your comment on the show? That's your comment on the show?
That's just a sheer logistics thing. That has nothing to do with it.
But I don't know. I've heard that so many times. I'm like, does that mean I suck?
Same.
Well, Grease is the word. Come see the kids. Yes. Come see the adults. If you have any interest in Grease, come see Grease all summer long. Summer lovin'. We're having a blast.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen so fast, you guys. So get out there. So I haven't watched that yet, but we're going to talk about what we have watched.
Yeah.
In the past week. And actually, I just thought of this wonderful segue because, first of all, I am rewatching How I Met Your Mother. Mm-hmm. And I just watched the episode where Lily has everyone come to a really awful play. And and Barney is honest about how awful it is, and to prove to her, he writes his own one-man show that he forces them to sit through, and the entire first 45 minutes was just him saying moist over and over again.
Why would you say that to me on the radio? You're mean.
It was just, all of it was just too perfect, but...
Interestingly, I saw a mutual friend of ours, Kevin, last night, and he said that his favorite theater memory ever is saying those words to me on stage during Spelling Bee.
I want to tell that story really quick because I got the best seat. Okay, so I directed a show called 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and Jalyn played Rona Lisa Peretti, who is one of the authority figures, and Kevin, our friend Kevin Schwartz, played Ponch, Mr. Ponch, I don't remember his full name, and he was the principal, and he gave the words to the spellers and everything, and there were ad-libby moments in the show that could change, and one of them, one night he came up to me before the show and he goes, I have an idea. So this person's in the audience. I remember who it was, but I'm not going to say it was.
Well, it was industry night, so it was friendly people.
Okay. Anyway, he's like, can I please do this? And he's like, can I ask this word and like have him repeat it over and over? And I was like, absolutely.
Because he's mean too.
Well,
but in good fun.
It's good show quality.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll go with that.
The word was.
He used all of my words, but he started with.
I don't know if I can say that sentence to you sitting this close to you because you might.
It's okay. Go ahead. I'm good. I'll put my earphones on.
The word was moist. And so he said, can you repeat the word? And he asked, I think, 2 or 3 times to repeat the word.
And then to use it in a sentence.
Used it in a sentence. And
the sentence had all my words.
I spilled a dollop of sour cream on my panties and they got moist. And, like all this stuff. And lots of words that Jalyn hates. She doesn't like blouse or trousers or no, slacks, not trousers.
Slacks.
And
didn't know that one. Oh, too fun.
Anyway.
And Jalyn's face was very precious. I'll just say it was
so
precious.
What
I
a
was
precious
a happy
face.
camper.
Anyway.
So,
What else have you been looking at this week?
Yeah,
I
what
know
have
we
we
all
watched?
watched one big thing.
yes, indeed. I'd love to talk about that if we can.
The Tony Awards.
Tonys.
First and foremost, Laurie Metcalf, Best Featured Actress in a play.
Yes.
Hello. All praise Laurie.
Do you like Laurie Metcalf?
Oh my God, she's my favorite actress in the entire universe. Swear to God. Okay.
Seriously?
Oh, it's universe now. Okay.
Yes.
Your
it's always been the
favorite
universe.
actress?
Okay. Yeah.
My feelings are hurt.
You need to listen to the podcast more. He talks about that.
No, I know he
quite
does.
often.
I'm just giving him a little bit of grief because I thought I was his favorite actress.
Listen.
But
You were
it's
not nominated
Linda,
this year.
listen.
When you get nominated, we'll talk.
okay.
Laurie Metcalf, anyway, 3 Tall Women. Didn't see it. Would have loved to have seen it. But her acceptance speech was great, and she looked beautiful.
I think all the play stuff was awesome. I loved all those awards.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's
Okay.
start with Josh and Sarah.
Okay.
I just call them by their first names because we're tight like that.
We're old friends.
We're
Yeah.
old friends. We're besties.
The Grobes and the
I
Bears.
loved the opening segment.
Yes.
I loved it.
Dedicating
I
it
thought
to the losers.
Kind of, but in the best possible way because it wasn't just the losers. It was
The ensemble.
people who hold up all of those shows.
Yeah,
And
I loved that.
it was really cool. It was well written. They sounded great. I loved the whole feel of kind of keeping people at ease. And I really loved that they kind of promoted that hashtag Tony Dreaming. I don't know if you know about that, but if you could post pictures of yourself in any performance, like elementary school
yeah.
And they might have
then they
chosen
showed
it
them all night long.
Which
in
was really
different-
fun.
Different things. I thought that was
extremely fun.
really cool. It reminded me of I don't remember if it was last year or the year before when James Corden talked
Corden's
about
last year.
being being a little kid in the Midwest
That
or
was an
wherever.
incredible
that
opening
was
as
an
well.
awesome opening. But I thought this was very good as well. I really loved it. So now let's talk about musicals.
Yes. Well,
there were
I
some
also,
disappointments.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
listen. Mean Girls, the performance, Have you watched it yet? Did you watch the whole thing?
I've watched the entire Tonys, so that's what you mean.
Oh, okay. The Mean Girls performance that was on the Tonys, I did not like. It was very odd, and it felt like it was written in 5 minutes. I did not like it.
Here's what I thought about that, and then I'll let you talk about what you thought. Mean Girls, the cast of Mean Girls is a fairly, for the most part, new, known cast.
Okay.
And I think it was evident that they were a little stage frighty in being at the Tonys and singing in front of all of their peers like that. I mean, it's really a different feeling singing in a theater. You don't really know who's in front of you on any given night, but to be in that big of a space in Radio City and try to do something. Here's the other thing. My good friend who's a vocal coach in New York City posts this every year, and he's like, why the heck do they not, the week of the Tonys, not do a Sunday matinee? Because so many of those people are coming from an 8-show week, finishing their 8th show and trying to perform, and they're not letting the world see them at their best. They're so vocally fried and exhausted, and you could easily do a Thursday matinee the prior week or pick another day that you normally don't do a show and do a special show and let them rest.
I mean, it's the biggest night.
It's the biggest night,
Broadway.
and it's showing the world. You're trying to advertise why people should go to New York and see these shows. Like, why wouldn't you help your cast?
Yeah.
So that's my thought on that.
Well, I feel the same way, and on a much smaller scale. When we were doing Les Mis and we did a little outdoor concert in Fort Collins, it was a Sunday night.
Yeah, we were fried.
Yeah, and we had all just been shouting and sitting in a bunch of smoke and everything, and it was not pleasant.
That's definitely all valid, and I totally agree with that. It wasn't the performance I didn't like. It was
the actual song.
It was the music.
I did
the
like...
choreography was cute with the trays. That wasn't bad.
I loved the trays, and I loved Karen.
The song was...
Karen was hilarious.
Bad.
That's all.
That was cute.
Yeah, I think best musical number, in my opinion, was the Carousel one.
And I haven't gotten that far. Because I started watching it this morning when I got home from working
beautiful.
all night. So,
you see few all-male dances.
Okay.
And there was a lot of partner stuff that happened, too. It wasn't just individual stuff. You know, they were helping each other out, and it was just a joy to watch.
It's a cool number. The
energetic.
choreography is amazing, and I think Carousel's a tough sell because the story is really outdated, and it's like, hey, he hits me because he loves me. Yeah. Like, what?
Like Amy Schumer talking about My Fair Lady.
Amy Schumer's My Fair Lady thing was kind of funny.
Keep going.
Similar.
Yeah.
But the reason you should see Carousel is probably for Joshua Henry and for the choreography.
Yeah.
So it showed both of those things. Like,
absolutely.
Pretty, like, they were a smart Broadway team that figured out this is what we want to show. It was an unusual choice, I thought, at first, but then seeing it made me go, oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
This is what you want to show, you know?
Absolutely.
What did you think of the SpongeBob Squid song?
I thought it was innovative and exciting and wonderful.
The choreography is great.
I have listened to the full soundtrack for SpongeBob.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, and it didn't particularly speak to me, partly because I've never really watched SpongeBob the cartoon.
Neither have I.
Me neither. Way after my time.
And secondly, I'm such a visual person. Like, honestly, aside from Hamilton, I have a lot of trouble enjoying listening to any musical if I haven't seen it.
I understand.
I can get down on that. Yeah, I agree with that.
It was actually the exact opposite for Hamilton. I would rather just listen to it and not watch it.
You've mentioned that before.
Did you see it?
I saw like a video.
Oh, you haven't seen it live?
Yeah, I have not seen it live. But I didn't really care to spend the money to see it live after seeing the video clips. I was like, it doesn't seem that appealing to me personally.
Got it. That makes sense.
The tap dancing, 4-legged tap dancing was pretty great.
That was awesome.
Because the guy SpongeBob comes out. First of all, I didn't know he wasn't dressed like a sponge. He's just wearing
a crazy suit.
Yeah. So that was neat. And then the squid guy comes out in the same, I don't know the character name. Sorry, I'm not familiar. He comes out, and I didn't even realize that character had 4 legs. I had to go and look at the cartoon up on Google, and because I'm going, why does he have 4 legs? But it was so cool that he tap dances with 4 feet. It was great.
I did read an interesting commentary on the Tonys that said that in the list of many disappointments, one of the biggest ones was SpongeBob losing for sound design. They're like, they have an entire Foley situation set up in the pit to make all of those cartoon noises. Like, is that not good enough for Broadway? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that,
I didn't realize
that's
that.
pretty incredible.
No,
but
it's very frustrating how slanted all award shows end up being.
Yeah.
Towards one particular
And this year it was
piece.
the band's visit.
It was the
year?
band's visit, which I'm sure is great and innovative, but yeah, to same with the Oscars. I feel like it's all about just being edgy and dark and
Right. I think that the Tony voters thought that this year was too commercial, and so they decided, we're going to show you, world.
Yeah.
We're going to all vote for this tiny little
the
musical.
fun-loving fluff pieces just kind of get shafted.
matter. I will say that Once on this Island
Yeah,
was
I wanted to say
amazing.
and we
did get to see that.
We saw it in New York, not opening night, but
Second
the
night.
Second night. And
cool.
it was so cool. I think I talked about it actually when we first got back. It's in the round.
Oh my
There's
heavens.
sand on
It
the
was so
stage.
cool.
There's water on the stage.
They had
There's a
mentioned that
goat
and a
in
bunch
diapers.
of live animals
Yep.
and yeah.
Chickens.
And they did a performance on. They did the performance of one of the coolest parts of the show, I thought, which was when the hurricane comes and the girl's floating on the hood of the car.
They kind of did a weird mashup.
They
of
did. They
kind
kind of shortened it and
because
like
they
a
did
little
Mama
medley.
Will Provide, which
Right. And I was happy they showed some of that. I thought those were all the greatest parts of the show,
Absolutely.
and or some of the greatest parts of the show. But that was definitely my favorite performance of the night. And I haven't watched the rest, so I stopped after SpongeBob this morning. That was as far as I got.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
What did you think of the band's visit?
From what I saw,
Did you know anything about it before you saw that number?
I really didn't, and I think that's awesome that they're so into the diversity side of that and really celebrating that. I think that is awesome. That's all I know about it, though, is what
I have
they
heard
presented at the
everything
Tonys.
from it being, I don't know much about it either, so I'm not going to talk about it from any sense of knowledge. But from people who have actually seen it that I've talked to, I have heard all the way from that it was wonderful and heartfelt and beautiful to it was aggressively boring.
I loved that quote. Aggressively boring.
aggressively boring.
So
No, you've got to stay there.
yeah, you just watching paint dry. So interesting. I think it's interesting what appeals to different people, and yeah.
I was just going to say, we did also look at Bruce Springsteen's performance last night.
Oh, yeah.
Which, want to talk about aggressively boring? And this is coming
was.
from a Springsteen fan. That
Absolutely.
was the most boring,
Yeah.
5.5 minutes.
He's saying what, like 2 lines?
Yeah,
He
and
sang
just
2 lines,
talked about a
everything
lot
was
of
spoken.
stuff. And said the M word 3 times.
I was not feeling it. And,
right?
Yes, he did.
Gross.
this show has been praised, and I can't say that it's not great because I haven't seen it, but that performance was not a good
Aggressively
representation
boring.
Yeah,
of
and from
what that show
From what I understand, it was the whole reason for putting that on Broadway was to bring more people to Broadway that wouldn't normally be there.
Yeah.
Same as the live shows on TV and that kind of thing. Carrie
yeah.
Underwood as Maria is not the best thing,
Right.
but
Ever.
it gets people to watch.
And they're doing that more and more. I mean, SpongeBob SquarePants the musical and Mean Girls the musical. These are things that not normal Broadway goers would go and see that are.
Yeah.
So that's
You got to
great.
pay the
Can't
bills
fault them
somehow.
for that. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So one last thing I would like to talk about just briefly. Robert De Niro needs to put a couple of dollars in the politics jar. Oh my gosh.
And the swear jar. Both.
Yeah. What? Like to open
I think
a
it's-
Tony's presentation with that was
Here's what I think. You want to know what I think?
What do you think?
Since I'm the old lady?
Are we going to have to bleep you out?
No.
Okay.
Here's what I think.
Go ahead.
I think that
Yes.
the arts are always a commentary on the world. I do think that that is a thing, and I do think that you should have the right to talk about certain things, but I don't think that it is necessary to be vulgar for the sake of vulgarity. That
I
is
agree.
something that really bothers me. If you have a political statement, there were other people throughout the night that made political statements,
But they fit in with
fit in with what they were trying to say. It wasn't an aggressive, vulgar to be vulgar statement.
Look
That
at
is
Amy Schumer.
just my opinion. Now,
Yeah,
people
that was
will
great.
come back to you and say, well, the president is vulgar as well, and I don't disagree, but that doesn't mean I have to be.
It doesn't make
That
it
doesn't,
okay.
It
Right,
doesn't make it okay.
And
I
what-
don't think an eye for an eye in this situation is the right
absolutely
answer.
or fighting fire with fire. I can think of very few instances where I can see and sense that much love in a room than the Tony Awards. And so to bring hate like that up
Yeah.
onto the stage is really, really difficult.
And for what reason?
Right.
It didn't have
Yeah.
any.
It just was.
And
I didn't like it.
And to call someone a hater and then
Do the exact
respond
same
with
thing?
hate
Yeah,
is
it's not okay.
yeah. It was
That's
frustrating.
cool. I'm glad we're all in agreement.
Well, I've been saying that for months now because it's. Anyway,
Anyhow.
we do need to move forward.
Yes, indeed.
We wanted
That
to
was
do
good Tony's conversation.
Yeah, it was
Nice
great.
recap.
We wanted to do a something random disco for you this week. Now we do have some discoveries for you. Michael, would you like to start?
Yes. Well, so this kind of bleeds over from the Tonys a little bit.
Okay.
But I discovered that Rachel Bloom, who was backstage for
In the big
Tonys-
crazy hats.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. She is just wonderful. I found out that her husband actually did some writing for How I Met Your Mother, which I'm watching currently.
Oh, how weird.
Yeah, because Neil Patrick Harris was throwing shade Rachel's way after the Tonys, saying like, "Who is this girl?" And she said, "We've met several times, and my husband actually wrote for How I Met Your Mother."
Oh, geez. So he was like being serious. He wasn't just
I
joking
can't
around.
tell. It's hard to tell because you like your Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman feud. Yeah, but that's
But it's all fake.
totally. Oh, it's all staged, and it's so much fun to watch. But you can watch it with a lot more love because you know that they're just joking around.
But you're not sure about the
I
other.
can't quite tell.
Oh, that's funny.
It's unfortunate.
How funny. Okay.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I have a little discovery here. Over the past few weeks, Sirius, as in Sirius XM, has come out with a new app. They've updated the app. The app has been, I've been using the app for a while now, but they've updated the app and they've added video. They've added, you can discover all these new things and search and find it.
Cool.
Working my way around the Sirius app is fantastic now. And as you all know, I'm a Howard Stern fan, and they are showing videos from the show and all kinds of stuff. It's great.
So it's radio adding some video.
But video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those of us that are...
What a good idea.
I know.
Maybe somebody in the world should invent something that's kind of like radio, but you can see it.
Yeah. Like in a little box in your living room?
Maybe.
Or
a
in your
big
bedroom.
box.
No one's ever going to buy
No
that.
one's gonna do
It's
that.
like a
That's
steam-powered
crazy.
engine. I mean, what are we
Catch
talking
on.
about?
Jeez,
here?
that's like the Jetsons. It's
If
the
God
future.
intended for us to watch things in a box, then
We would go to the theater.
yeah. A black
Anyway,
box theater.
For those of us that are longtime Howard Stern fans, it's fun to know that this is all coming back as much like it was on the E! Network decades ago, and now it's back and it's better and it's great.
Nice.
Michael, you're my favorite.
I'm so
In a
glad
black
you're
box
here.
theater. We're such nerds.
Yeah.
Is he your favorite because Laurie Metcalf's my favorite? Is that how
Now,
it works?
yes.
Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
snap.
I feel jealous.
All right, Jalyn, what's your
You
discovery?
have a TV on your arm.
What's
so
your discovery
don't
of
even
the
talk.
week?
Well, I have so many discoveries, but they're all very girly. And I was trying to talk to Joel about them, and he was like, okay, do that
We
one.
need a little more feminine energy in this show.
No. I want you to do the one that you think is the best discovery, as in something that the listeners would like to know about the most.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about two things because, as you know, if you're in the theater and you're around children, those are two very hazardous to your health things.
Okay, go ahead.
So I am definitely lately relying more on essential oils.
I was hoping that was where you were going.
I told you he would love it.
So I am kind of on the doTERRA bandwagon right now.
Nice.
And they have a specific blend that I have been using a lot called On Guard.
On Guard.
And you can diffuse it, and you can. You're just nodding away. I like that. You can diffuse it. You can
put a couple drops in your tea.
Yep. You can put it in your bathtub. You can put a couple drops in your hands and inhale it.
You can put it in your tea.
There are beadlets that you can suck on.
Yeah.
He's got the beads on his necklace too. You see these things?
Oh yeah, you have aromatherapy.
What do you call those things?
They're lava stones. So I mean,
that was his discovery a couple weeks ago.
Suck it up. So
they don't absorb it as quickly as your skin, so it just sits in there until it evaporates,
and then it kind of.
Yeah.
So I use that, and I use lavender a lot because I really struggle to sleep, and I put it on my feet, and it is pretty great for that. And and then the other thing, which you guys might not know about, is elderberry extract.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the moms gave to me when I was really sick during ragtime. And I started taking it every day, just a spoonful. Just a spoonful of elderberry extract.
It doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well.
Not quite as easily. But it does. It's an immune booster. It helps your immune system. So, yeah. Those are
love it.
Great.
I'm so glad you're on board with that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Health promotion. This is all good thing.
And I think there's lots of places. I have a friend that uses doTERRA, and she kind of got me. I had used some other companies, and I'm really loving doTERRA. I think it's the best one.
They definitely pride themselves on their sourcing and being really the most potent of all the
and
oils.
if you even smell the two side by side, I was like, whoa, this is very different.
There's a stark contrast.
Well, I have something random for you guys this week.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but yay.
It's also along the lines of discovery because I discovered it this week, but it's also really random. So I work at night these days right now, currently, and the shops that I work in are really hot because it's hot during the day, and then the hot air just sits in there at night. So I open the big garage doors, which all the bugs come in. I mean, there's no way around it, right?
Absolutely.
Unless I get a giant screen, which is not
or a
going
big
to happen.
citronella candle.
Well,
or a blend of essential oils.
I do have a bug zapper and some things like that, but the thing I've discovered recently that works the best is off bug spray, dry bug spray. It's dry, folks.
What?
You spray it on, and it's just like an aroma that you spray on, and it's not greasy or sticky.
Ooh.
It's dry spray. It's
Where'd
not a
you
powder. King Supers.
No.
What?
way.
Your
The
local
soups.
grocery store, people.
Crazy
That is
pants.
now only open until midnight, which is frustrating, but yes.
It is. But it works wonders, and I love it.
You go to our same King Supers.
They all are.
Oh, they all are?
Yeah,
There's no 24 hours anymore?
They just changed that
That's
rule.
just stupid.
I
It's
know.
so silly.
But they do have click lists, so they're back on the plus side for that.
That's
All right.
true. That's true.
We are going to move on to 6 degrees. We're getting a little behind, so we're going to move on to our 6 degrees of separation this week. Will you pass that over to Michael so he can draw a name out?
Do I take one?
No, just Michael. He's going to draw from dead people. I am going to draw from comedy. And we are going to do this up.
And let's go over the rules real quick. How we play 6 degrees is very simple. You just have to connect these two actors using 6 movies or TV shows or less. And you have to know the name of the actor, know the name of the movie. We have been putting 5 minutes on the clock, but we would also like to see if you can beat our record. So we're going to...
Should we go for 3?
Well, let's just put 5 minutes on the clock and see how long it takes us, I
get
think.
a clock
So
on
it has to be a movie or it can't be like I saw them eating lunch together.
Right, or a music video, or if they directed, like
only
those kind of
television
things.
shows and movies.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the real
just
trick.
gonna guess I'm gonna be really bad at this game.
All right, you want to go first, Jill?
I have someone who you're going to love. She has her own dance.
Ooh.
Molly Ringwald.
Molly
I love Molly Ringwald.
This should be pretty easy. I have Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. Okay,
Yes.
2 redheads. Look at this.
It's 2 gingers. They must have done a movie together.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the clock, and away we go. Okay, so
And you thought you got rid of me this episode. Hi, everybody. This is your humble host, Charles, just checking in to see how things are going. Hey, how are you? I miss you. I wasn't here for this episode, so we weren't able to talk, but I hope you're well. How is your mother? Is she doing okay? Say hi to your mother for me. Anyways, yeah, so I'm getting over being a little sick and a little overwhelmed. So I took the week off. So I hope you're doing okay without me. But I just wanted to let you know kind of what we've got going on with Something Random and with the other podcasts that we've got going on. So first off, if you haven't heard, we are working with NoCo FM, which is our podcast network / streaming service / potential radio. We'll see what's going on. But if you want to hear us streamed live, you can listen to us on noco.fm, noco.fm. You can hear all of our podcasts. You can hear Working Out the Kinks. You can hear Talk and Roll, or you can hear Something Random on that. And if you haven't heard those other two podcasts, listen to those shows. They're really good. They're fantastic. Talk and Roll is my baby. I love it so much. It's so much fun. We are also currently working on our short film and our feature film, which we're hoping to get started here pretty quick. You should see a lot of cool information about that on our website. So please check out something.random.media.com to check out any of our stuff. You can find all of our merch. You can find some cool photography projects that we've worked on, some video projects that we worked on, pretty much everything we kind of lead back into Something Random Media. So we've got some really cool stuff. I've got some Talk and Roll stickers that are on my laptop right now, which I absolutely love. They're fantastic, and you should pick a couple up. It's a great way to help support the pod. So anyways, I'm going to get back to the show. You guys, I hope you're enjoying your week without me, and I hope to hear from you soon. You can talk to us on social medias. We spend most of our time on Instagram, but you can find us anywhere at Something Random Media. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for listening to the show, and I love you.
Was that even 2 steps?
That
just one
was
step?
brilliant.
Woo!
Okay, we are back.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Look at this.
I did it
Look at
good.
this.
Guest host for the win.
Check this out. 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
can you beat it, folks?
Now, this
And
is 1
it was
minute and 8
me.
seconds. Jalyn helped us out. Okay, so we got Gene Wilder here, of course, right? He's in Young Frankenstein with Cloris Leachman, okay? Cloris Leachman was in Jalyn,
Facts of Life.
The Facts of Life with Molly
Molly
Ringwald.
Ringwald.
How many degrees is that? We got Young Frankenstein. That's 2 degrees, people.
These mics are suspended in the air. Otherwise, we would drop the mic.
Yay.
1 minute and 8 seconds. Way to go.
You're welcome.
High fives all around.
You're welcome.
Nice work. All right. Look at that.
Well, now we caught back up to, where we're supposed to be in the show.
I suppose so.
Because we didn't waste too much time on
That's
that.
right. All right. I have another Famish for you.
Famish. Oh, I'm so excited.
Now, Famish, we did last week. We started with Taylor Negron.
Who originated the quote, Famish.
That is correct. One thing I forgot to do was pull pictures of this person, so I'm going to do that really quick. The reason I picked this person was for a couple of reasons. One, I really love her.
Do we have to guess?
You don't have to guess. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to tell you her name. If you know who she is, great. If you don't, I'm going to give you roles that she's played and things that she's been doing, and a little bit of her credit history, and see if you can come up with a face. If you can't, by the end of the bit, I'll show you her face, and you're going to say, "Oh, her." Okay.
And he's not talking about auto loans and credit cards.
That's correct,
When he
I'm
says
not.
credit history.
I get it.
He's
Resume.
Michael, I'm a famous theater lady.
I get it, but I also worked in banking for 2 years, and so
but I did
I had to clarify that in my own brain.
You had to, yes, I understand.
All right, so let me get back to my note here. Okay, so Famish this week, we're looking at Kathleen Freeman.
Kathleen Freeman.
Do you know the name Kathleen Freeman? Ring any bells?
I mean, the Freeman part does, but only because of
ring-a-ding-ding.
Morgan.
Okay. She's got dozens and dozens of popular TV show guest appearances.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Was she on the Love Boat?
I'm gonna run through a couple of these. She was on the Love Boat. Okay. She was on
Oh, yeah.
She was on Mr. Ed, Roseanne, Batman,
the
TV
original
or movie?
series
Original
with Adam
series,
West.
yes.
Oh, okay.
The Golden Girls, MacGyver, I Dream of Jeannie, Married with Children. She's also a very famous voiceover actress. She did the voice of Peggy's mother in Married with Children.
Okay.
The Beverly Hillbillies, The Lucy Show, Martin, Doogie Howser, Home Improvement, Party of Five, ER, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Growing Pains, DuckTales, Rugrats, Caroline in the City, Donna Reed, Melrose Place,
Goodness.
Coach, The Dick Van Dyke Show, Bonanza, Mama's Family, Major Dad, Beverly Hills 90210,
What?
Murphy Brown, which is coming back this fall, and
can't
I'm very
wait.
excited about. Elf, Tales from the Crypt, The Bill Cosby Show, Kojak, Matlock, Chips, Father Knows Best, Simon and Simon, one of the best theme songs in television history.
gosh.
Mr. Belvedere, My Three Sons, another great theme song. Hogan's Heroes, Mod Squad, L.A. Law, The Love Boat, Valerie,
I knew it.
The Facts of Life, Head of the Class, and Lassie.
What?
Now, I know that was very general.
and none of those were actual leading roles.
None of those were roles. They were all
just featured bits.
featured guest spots. Now, she was opposite Jerry Lewis in 11 feature films, including The Errand Boy, The Disorderly Orderly, and The Nutty Professor.
Oh.
She had small parts in The Fly, the original Fly, Joe Dirt, Shrek, and Fern Gully. She was Mother Mary Stigmata in The Blues Brothers, as well as her reprising the role in Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeesh.
She was Muriel, the mother gangster in Naked Gun 33 1/3. She was Max and Allison's teacher in Hocus Pocus. Does this help at all?
A Hocus Pocus helps me.
She was Microwave with Marge in Gremlins 2, the new batch. She was Enid, the angry landlady in Dragnet. Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd.
Okay.
Getting there at all close? I know you know her face, okay?
sure.
I'm
I
sure
do.
I'll
This is
recognize
what's
the
going to
face.
give it away for you, Jalyn. You share a musical theater role with her. She played Jeanette in The Full Monty.
Oh, I know who she is.
Yeah. That's Skeggs and Echo. Yeah.
That's how I know that name. 'Cause
That's
I've
how you-
listened to that CD a million
That's right.
times.
I'm going to show you her picture, and you're going to say...
We know her. She's famous. Yep. I know exactly who
Oh,
she is.
her.
Yes.
Very nice. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that lady.
Yep.
Ringing any bells?
Now it
Yep.
does.
Max and Allison's teacher. And
Now I won't be able to not see her.
Kathleen Freeman, folks.
We love you, Kathleen.
She has over 200 film and television credits. That is unbelievable.
That's so cool.
Her resume is just, it's through the roof. I mean, you heard the television shows. She's, and
She's still working?
no, she passed away in 2001 at the age of 81. But she's one of those people, you'd know her if you saw her. If you don't know the name and the roles didn't help,
Look her up.
go ahead and look up Kathleen
please
Freeman.
do.
That's Kathleen with a K. And you're going to say, oh, that lady.
And, Josh Groban and Sarah Bareilles just dedicated a song to people exactly like her.
Yep.
And so the idea of this bit, since this is still kind of new, I want to re-explain it. This is to help us familiarize people's names that we don't normally know, that we see all the time.
that.
Taylor Negron's one of those people. Kathleen Freeman. I've got gobs of ideas in my head for people that should be featured in
I
the
love
segment.
this idea.
You've got Jobs of ideas.
Jobs. Steve Jobs.
You
That's
got
right.
it.
Okay, good. All right.
Well, oh, yes. So, that's
It's
my
your turn.
transition
That's
sound.
your cue. When I stop talking, that's your cue.
Goop goop.
Yes.
Googly goo goo.
All right. So we've got a question from Reno on Snapchat. So is this a location or is this a person named
Reno. Okay, this is a guy I've been chatting with for a long time.
right.
His
name is Reno, or
no?
he
His
lives in
name is
Reno?
Trevor, but he lives in Reno, so we call him Reno.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
We
Well,
just
thanks
outed
so
him.
much,
It's
Trevor /
For
Reno.
what his real name is.
Yes.
In case he didn't want to be, but whatever.
No, he doesn't.
Hi, Trevor.
Reno says, love it when you guys talk about music and wish you would more often. What kind of stuff would you or do you play to get a party going? We were just recently talking about this.
You know, we were.
And Joel, you are the one to answer this question because you are the DJ of house parties.
Now, listen. We were talking about this last week with the playlists. Jalyn and I do have a lot of get-togethers, okay? We have theater people over. One thing we try not to play is musical theater. Okay, I try to stray from playing that at parties. But stuff that I tend to throw in every playlist does it. I do have a handful of those. I like to play Jessica by the Allman Brothers. It's just one of my favorite. You know that one. It goes. Just it's a party hopping song, and I know you hate her. Well, I don't want to say you hate her. You hate it when I sing it to you, and that is Cardi B. I don't
hate that song.
Now. I make money move.
So do you think that a party playlist such as this should be all rise or rise and fall?
Now that's a very good question. You got to keep it going. You don't want the party to die. You don't want people to leave when it slows down. It gets boring.
But you got to have an occasional.
But you got to have a chill section. That's what REO Speedwagon is for. That's what
roller skating rink songs.
Yes. Okay.
Phil Collins. I'm a huge Phil Collins fan. He can do that. You can also do it with, you can do it with Queen. There's a couple Queen songs that are kind of chill and not as bouncy. I love the B-52s. They fit in any party playlist
music.
song. Groove is in the Heart by D-Light. But I also throw in Kiss.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Springsteen's monologue to music.
Of course.
That's the potty
That's
break.
what you turn on when you want people to leave.
Go home.
You turn on Bruce
Can I tell a
Springsteen's.
fun party
Yeah, go ahead.
story?
Sure.
So we had a party a month or two ago, and one of the songs that I think is almost on every Joel playlist came on.
Yeah.
And it is a song that I know you know called Ring My Bell.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bell.
That's Miss
Ring
Anita
my
Ward.
bell. Miss Anita Ward.
That was bad. I take full blame for that.
And as we're listening to that song, one of the girls who's in the cast of Ragtime turns to me and says, "Oh, that's crazy. You're playing this song. That's my mom."
That's my mom.
And I said, "What? What do you mean this is your mom?" And Joel goes, "Anita Ward is your mom?" And she goes, "Yeah, she is."
It
really was her. That's her mother.
There were a few more questions before that. I was like, "What do you mean, it's her mom?" She was like, "This song. This is my mom singing." I'm like,
she was like, "Your mom likes the song?"
I'm
Like,
like,
there was a disconnect there for a
yeah.
minute.
Oh, wow.
But
She
it was her actual mom.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I love it.
So that's
I
kind
do
of a
throw
fun.
Ring My Bell in the playlist.
Yeah.
I like to put in ska music because I feel like everybody
I like
likes
Five Iron Frenzy.
Everybody likes ska, and it doesn't get played as much as it should. So I throw in ska. Also, something you don't always hear unless you're at a sporting event: "Rock and Roll Part 2" by Gary Glitter. I always throw that in my party playlist. You know that song? It goes, "Da-na-na-na-na-na, hey, da-na-na-na." Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The
Yes.
one they play at every baseball game ever.
And basketball game
Yeah.
and
Hockey game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad that you said that it should rise and fall because,
Absolutely.
and so
Sometimes people just want a break.
exactly, and as a wedding DJ, it's a whole different animal, of course, but
But you have to have some slow songs in there for dancing.
Exactly. You got to throw
course.
some slow dances in there, and you really like finding those transitional songs. I feel is the biggest challenge to let it kind of ease off the really peppy stuff.
That's why I say playlists are an art. You
Yeah.
do have to know how to do it. You can't go from "I Can't Live" by Harry Nilsson to "Kiss" by Prince. It
Right.
just doesn't work.
No, Joel's are very good. He makes our driving playlists, and they're
Nice.
always good. And I'm going to be able to judge your wedding DJ talents, I think, later this summer because I believe you're DJing
For Mr.
for Chris
Welsh.
Johnson's niece's wedding.
Oh, yeah. You are. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
you know who I'm talking about?
I do now because you struggled to pronounce it like me. I'm gonna have to work on that.
I think that's who it is.
So how much improvising do you do when it comes to these playlists?
Very, very, very rarely. Unless someone comes up and says, "Can we hear this song?"
At our parties, there's always a moment, if it's a theater party, and there are certain theater people there, where we have to listen to Tom Jones, Delilah.
Right.
Just a thing.
What is it
we
like
don't
in New
just-
York City?
We don't just listen to it. They sing
act
it
it out and
as
sing
loud
it
as they can.
Yeah, it's a whole production number.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's what theater parties are for.
Exactly.
At least that's what I think.
What, you got any essentials that you would love to hear at the next party you come to at our house?
I don't, but
You can send us requests ahead of time.
Okay, cool. I will think on that. But I'm such a I before I even did a musical ever, I was into swing dance and salsa and social dance, and so those are usually my jam. I
Gotcha,
will listen
okay.
to swing music or
Swing.
Yeah, sure. That's
Those toms.
That's the standard
a great sound.
Yeah. I actually like the soundtrack version by Mirabista Shane from Swing Kids.
Swing Kids.
Yes.
I love that whole sound. I love that movie. First
It
of all,
is-
that's a whole other tangent.
What's my
But
all-time favorite movie?
That's Michael's
soundtrack
favorite movie.
Is so good, and that movie is so good.
I wore out the CD. I need to figure out how to.
You can probably just get it on the Apple iTunes or
Probably
something.
so,
yeah.
Spotify, one of those.
I do like to throw in those swing bands from the 90s that when like swing was big again and they did
Brief Fad.
Squirrel Nut
Squirrel Nut
Zippers
Zippers.
and all those guys
Jinx.
and Cherry
that.
Poppin' Daddies and stuff like
Oh,
that because
yeah.
that always seems to get people popping.
It's
Is-
kind
is-
of like B-52s does. I
Is
think.
Right.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy in that?
Big Bad Voodoo
realm?
Daddy.
Bad
Okay.
Voodoo Daddy.
Love them.
Squirrel Nut Zippers were just here. We should have gone.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nuts.
Well, nuts.
What are you gonna do?
Squirrel Nut Zippers. I do have a which reel is real for you this week.
Man, I love this game.
I wasn't sure if we had enough time, but I think we do.
I think
So I'm gonna
we
run
can do
through
this.
it.
Rock this out.
All right, Jalyn, this is how this works. Okay.
Okay.
I have 4 movies, horror, science fiction type movies, old
I'm going to
movies.
be terrible at this.
No.
Science
You don't have to know anything about anything, okay? These movies are, I'm going to give you a plot synopsis, and you have to tell me if the movie is real or if it's fake.
Okay.
Okay?
And is one real and 3 are fake?
I'm not going to tell you because last time we did this, it was
was
2
a
real and
numbers
2
game.
fake, so
Yeah.
it was kind of.
Okay. So it's a whatever.
So they could all be real. They could all be fake. Could be
okay.
2 and
Something in
2,
between.
3 and 1.
Great.
Okay. Since you're the guest, give me a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. All right. The Thing with Two Heads. Now wait till I give you the whole full description before you answer. The Thing with Two Heads, 1972. A rich but racist man is dying and hatches an elaborate scheme for transplanting his head onto another man's body. His health deteriorates rapidly, and doctors are forced to transplant his head onto the only available candidate, a black man from death row.
That 1972?
Yes.
That has to be real. I
What do
vote
you think?
real.
I'm going to go ahead and say fake.
Okay. All right. Pick your number 1, 2, or 4.
Well, don't you tell us what
No,
the
I'm going to
answer
tell
is?
you them all at the end.
At the end.
1, 2, or 4.
Oh.
4, please.
4. Rat Kid, 1949. Out-of-work scientist James Woodrow is on the threshold of a scientific breakthrough. He believes he has invented a pure serum that will kill poisons and cure illnesses. Out of funds and unable to convince anyone to loan him money, he cannot find a test subject. He debates trying the serum on himself, but declines after realizing he will not be able to make the necessary changes to his product if something goes wrong. So instead, he chooses his 8-year-old son as a test subject. At first, it seems everything has gone right, but upon a presentation at a scientific conference, his son deforms in front of everyone's eyes into a disgusting rat-like boy. Real or fake?
What year did you say?
49.
I'm going to say real.
Okay,
Fake.
fake? All right.
You're dichotomy. No, diametrically opposed. That's what it is.
Opposed.
1 or 2?
1.
1. The Most Dangerous Game, 1932. After their luxury cabin cruiser crashes on a reef, Bob Rainsford finds himself washed ashore on a remote island. He finds a fortress-like house, and the owner, Count Zaroff, seems to be quite welcoming. Apart from Zaroff's servant Ivan, the only other people present are Eve Townbridge and her brother Martin, also survivors of their shipwreck. Other survivors are missing, however, Rainsford soon learns why. Zaroff releases them into his jungle island and then hunts them down in his grisly outdoor chess game. After Martin disappears, Bob realizes that he and Eve are to be the next pawns in Zaroff's deadly game.
True.
True?
Yes.
I
Real.
also say true.
Also say true?
Yep.
Okay. Last one. White Zombie, 1932. While traveling to New York, a couple are convinced by their new acquaintance to stay in Port Prince and get married in his mansion. However, the friend fell in love with the girl, and his real intention is to convince her to call off the wedding. When he realizes that the time is too short to seduce her, he visits the local witch doctor, who gives him a drug to transform her into a zombie. She dies immediately after the wedding, and her corpse is disputed by the friend and his sick love for her, and the witch doctor that wants her for a zombie slave. Real or fake?
Real.
Okay. All right, here are the answers.
Okay.
The thing with two heads, that is real.
I knew it.
This if you haven't seen this movie, you've got to find it. Rosie Greer, the football player,
Is the body?
is the body, and it's just his body with the guy like pressed up with his neck on his shoulder or his chin on his shoulder. That's the special effects for this movie.
That's magnificent.
You got to check this movie out. Rat Kid, that is fabricated. I made that one up.
I just have to say,
I am smart.
your writing style is so good.
You know,
like
it's
that
really
you
good.
blend in with these real ones.
That's what makes this game
It's
fun.
very
know, it's
hard to
super fun.
distinguish.
You're not going to believe this. I wrote that in the car on the way over here.
That's why he wouldn't talk to
That's
me.
why I wanted her to drive. The most dangerous game, the human zombie chess game. That is real.
Knew it.
All right. I haven't seen that one, but it sounds good.
There it is.
And finally, White Zombie, 1932. Definitely real.
Yes.
I was watching it the other night when you came downstairs. It's that one with Bela Lugosi. He's the witch doctor. Great movie. That's one of my favorites. So
I had a perfect score.
you had a perfect score. Way to go.
Nice.
You guys should have me on
Jalyn's
more
just
often.
crushing it
I am
today.
Crushing the games.
Go, girl.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I love it. So we're going to go ahead and do a scene.
We do. We have a scene for you.
Oh, is this the last
And this
thing?
is Jalyn and Joel, yes.
This is going to
I
be
don't know
Jalyn
what-
and Joel.
I don't know what this means, but whatever.
Okay, so here's what we do, Jalyn.
Okay.
You're going to draw a name out of this cup.
Okay.
I'm going to draw a name of a celebrity. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to do your best impression
As in the scene?
reading this script.
Oh, dear. Okay.
This is one of my favorite movie scenes. I believe it's also one of yours. It's
It
from When
is.
Harry Met Sally.
Excellent.
So go ahead and draw.
But this
Don't
is-
tell us who it is. Michael's going to guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't tell us who it is.
Oh, my gosh.
Last week we had Keanu Reeves and
Arnold
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Schwarzenegger.
doing a
Okay.
scene from What About Bob? So this is the
Great.
kind of
This is
craziness that
not
we do.
going to be good, but I'm going to do my best.
Okay. Oh, man. I don't know if I can do it with this one. Okay. I got to do it. That's what I drew. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. From When Harry Met Sally. You realize, of course, that we can never be friends.
Why not?
What I'm saying is, and this is not a come on in any way, shape, or form, is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true. I have a number of men friends, and there's no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You only think you only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No. What I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
How do you know?
Because no man can be friends with a woman he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
So you're saying that a man can be friends with a woman he finds unattractive?
No, you pretty much want to nail them too.
What if they don't want to have sex with you?
It doesn't matter because the sex thing is already out there, so the friendship is ultimately doomed, and that is the end of the story.
Well, I guess we're not going to be friends then.
Guess not.
That's too bad. You're the only person I knew in New York.
All right.
Well done.
All right. Michael, what do you say?
Well, I really think that Jalyn was doing a Gilbert Gottfried, but
No. See, I'm terrible.
Now, I think yours is a girl. Is that
It
right?
is a girl.
Okay.
that's right. You had like a special.
Mine's a girl.
Oh, then I got nothing.
Who's the most obnoxious woman you know on television?
God, you are peaking the mics. You are peaking the mics with your impression.
I don't know.
Can you do her laugh? Yeah. I have a guess.
Go for it.
Is it the Fran Drescher?
No.
Oh, I thought it was Fran Drescher.
Well, we're both
I thought
off.
you'd for sure get it.
Is it Roseanne?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher would have been much higher pitched.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And then more like that.
Oh dear.
And she always sounds like a smoker.
What do you say for me?
Oh man,
I think you. Oh, I'm not supposed to guess.
I don't know
I
if
have a
I have a
guess.
guess. So why don't you go?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is
What?
correct. Yes.
Nice.
I can't believe you
Okay.
didn't get my Roseanne. I suck.
For some reason, I just kept thinking Fran Drescher. I didn't, you know.
I would have gotten the Goldblum thing if you had done a little more of the stuttery.
I thought I did do that.
Not really.
It was
Not as
pretty
much.
slow moving, but that's all right. That was still an excellent impression.
Because life finds a way. All right.
Oh man, I love it. I love it,
That was
love it, love
fun.
it. That was fun. Thank you, Jalyn, so much
Thanks for having
being
me,
here.
guys.
This was a blast, and we
was
must do it
super
again
fun.
soon.
I'll totally come on a different day.
Absolutely.
So great.
Right. Thank you to all our listeners for joining us and hanging out with us, having some
Yes.
fun, playing some games. We're going to go ahead and call it a night, I think. So,
That's right. But
Yes.
don't forget to send us emails, Snapchats, Instagram messages, Facebook messages. Leave us all the comments and send us your questions. Tell us what you love about the show, what you hate about the show, and all that good stuff.
You can find us on all the socials, podcast at somethingrandommedia.com. You can, find us wherever you find podcasts, I believe, except Spotify. And you can even find us on Google Plus if you still use that.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah.
so that is all. And
out
as
there.
always, I'm Michael C. Macbeth.
My name is Joel, and with us today, thank you again for coming, is...
Jalyn, Courtney, Webb.
Boom.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you all have yourselves
Thanks,
a
y'all.
wonderful week.
Bye.
Yes. Later.